Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Drive Node Selector. You're listening to episode 4. We did another episode. We're on the 4th one.
We're on
Can't
4.
believe it.
Yeah.
So I'm Scott, one of your co-hosts, and
I'm Jonathan. Happy to have you here.
And this week we'll be discussing V12 Ferraris. An unlikely podium in F1.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yes, quite. And what it's like driving 25-year-old sports cars every day.
Yeah.
So I see you're back. I can see you in real life.
Yeah.
We're not looking at each other through a video.
Yeah.
So
no more Zoom call podcasts.
No more Zoom call. So
it's good to be back.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. How was your trip?
All was very interesting. I got to experience a plethora of Italian automotive richness, you could say. I remember, in one day, I drove the least powerful car that I've ever driven, and stepped out of that into the most powerful car that I've ever driven. As I did not one, but I shamelessly did 2 Ferrari rental experiences for like a 20 to 30 minute drive, which was amazing.
Very nice.
But yeah, we'll start off. I'll start off with a bit about driving our proud Fiat Panda.
Sure.
A real Italian icon. I think this car, it's been out since 1980 maybe. It's Giugiaro design originally, and this is a car that helped mobilize the people. It's only in I think it's just entering its 4th generation.
Wow.
In that time. So, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This car was completely gutless. It's a small European, I suppose it would be in the B segment. It's a hatchback. It only weighs 2,200 pounds, if that. We had a hybrid manual. Would you believe it? But when I say hybrid, I mean 12-volt mild hybrid, like barely a hybrid system. 6-speed manual, naturally aspirated, inline 3-cylinder, 1-liter engine, smaller than my motorcycle, less powerful than my motorcycle. Weighs barely twice as much as my motorcycle, and it was great. It's a very charming car, but you didn't come here to listen to 69 horsepower Fiat Pandas.
Well, a follow-up question. If you could buy one here, would you buy it?
At first, that's a very good question, actually. At first, I was thinking about that when I first got the car, and I was like, this does not have enough power to be safely driven in North America. But I did take it on the highway. I drove it 4 hours from Maranello to the Swiss border, and the car can hold 130 just fine. And if you're merging and you use all the revs at full throttle, you'll survive. It'll be okay. So some of those on-ramps were like even shorter than on-ramps I've been on like in the US. So I was pretty surprised. But I still wouldn't personally buy one because my Suzuki SX4 fulfills what the Panda does.
Right.
And it just has a bit more like more than twice as much power. So, which is enough. But it's comfortably seated 4 people. The car would work in North America. I'm like, after taking it on the highway and taking some of the on-ramps and off-ramps, the car absolutely would work in North America, especially if you live in cities. So I think, lighter weight, we could afford to give up some of the mass and horsepower in cars to go to cheaper, more cheerful motoring, I think, possibly. But I got to experience a very full Ferrari experience. Hard top, drop top, front engine V12, mid engine V8, naturally aspirated, twin turbocharged, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, and 2-seater, 4-seater. So V12 GTC4 Lusso and a 488 Spider. So the first Ferrari I've ever driven, first V12 I've ever driven. And I was really hoping I could make this a reality. I was looking at some of the rental cars, costs, kind of weighing up value for the experience. And I chose to skip track time and split that cost between 2 cars. And I loved the Ferrari FF when it came out. Still love that car, but I love the Lusso a little bit more. You know, I love a nice, big, shooting brake, like grand touring, long distance, ultimate road trip fantasy car, right? Which is exactly what it is. It's a long distance road trip fantasy car. And does it live up to expectations? I suppose if your expectations are on the side is like comfort with sportiness.
That's awesome.
Like, it was interesting that for example, I found the throttle response on the 488, like, and again, to Ferrari's credit, the throttle response on the 488 Spider, I couldn't tell turbo lag, like, it was.
Right? Yeah. Overtake, come on.
It was instant, like as instant as it needs to be, like, and actually snappier than the Lusso. There was a noticeable, even in sport mode, there was a noticeable kind of bit of a soft opening to the throttle plate when you pin it, and yeah, I definitely pinned it in both cars. So Lusso, you're closing in on 700 horsepower. It's 4,200 pound car. I think, yeah, full 4-seater. I had my wife and her friend were in the back, and my guide was a winning GT3 race driver, Stefano. I think, yeah, and yeah, he's won a GT3 race with a Ferrari factory team. I think they won a championship. So that was pretty cool. It feels like Maranello feels like a very small, like a small tight-knit world in a way, but it's also the heart, like, that's so much the beating heart of Ferrari in a way that, like, not many other brands have this special place that's so meaningful, like, to another brand. Like Maranello, every Ferrari road car and race car that has ever been made, like, for the past 70 plus years, came from Maranello. Like, they've all driven on those streets, and that's something pretty special.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Especially for what's essentially a village, like, and you're talking about like a techie, luxurious, magical supercar and hypercar, right? Like, Ferrari's the dream, you know, the air quote, the dream car. right?
Yeah.
So, and it all lives there. So
Tell us a bit about like, I don't know, I guess the rental experience, like what the guide does and all that stuff, you know, like if someone is thinking about doing this maybe in the future, what can they expect?
Yeah, we'll throw some links in the description. So I used 2 different rental companies, not just one. So originally I was looking for to do track time in a 458. So it's 2025. The 458 were like 2 entire replacement models past the 458. So I'm like, boom, now is the time to like rent this very special car that, you know, came out when we were pirating Top Gear and watching it after university, right? Oh my gosh, the most amazing Ferrari, and revs so high, and like it's still naturally aspirated, all this special stuff. Looks amazing. And I was like, sweet, that's like literally the cheapest Ferrari rental, and it's so old that most companies don't rent them in Maranello. So I found there's Push Start Maranello and Motorsport Maranello were the 2 companies. And I was trying to rent a 458, but by the time I got there, I'd already driven the GTC4 Lusso, and this is a couple days later. They said the 458 was not available. So it must have had some service needs or whatever. It's a Ferrari. And so they put me in a 488 Spider, and I was like, all right, like that's fine. They're not charging me anymore. It's more powerful, that's for sure. And the power comes on a lot sooner than it would on the 458. And you know, I was trying to be like a bit of a purist. Oh, the 458 is the special one. It's NA, like, and do the hard top, you know. But it's like, well, Ferrari makes good drop top cars too. Like, maybe why not just try that out? So, yeah, that was the experience of renting or like setting up the rental. Yeah, you just go on the website. It's a little bit like you have to use Google Translate into English sometimes. Everyone uses WhatsApp, so you can email them, or you can like literally message them on WhatsApp using the number on the website, and they'll get back to you if you have questions. But it usually goes by car and time. And time by default includes distance. So like a 20-minute drive would be, you might only cover 20, 30 kilometers or something. But then there's half an hour drives, and you'll see drives that say HS. HS means high speed, which means the police don't really pay attention on this road that we're going to go on. So yeah, 488 Spider, like full throttle to the top of 4th gear multiple times, and same thing with the Lusso. So it was it's pretty awesome. But like, again, only if it's the guide knows this is what the guide is for, to answer your question. They know the area. They also have a good feel for the person who's driving and the car. And so they'll say, slow down, let the car go into second. Or if the guide is nice or whatever, they might let you shift. So I did not shift myself in the Lusso. I did all my shifting in the 488 Spider. And I was fine with that, honestly. Like, it was cool to, again, it was like feeling it like both ways, I guess. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the cars pick up speed pretty fast. That's for sure. The Lusso, honestly, it was like, with that said, it was like, on paper, it has more power than the GTR. But in real life, when we were driving a GTR years ago, the GTR felt way more savage. 3, 2.
There's no way I could stay upright. Oh, man.
So it's the spec sheet is true, but you know, it still comes down to tuning, gearing, and like the way like the inputs are calibrated. So it was I thought the Lusso was going to feel a lot faster than it felt. I was kind of like, I remember going back through the pictures, I was like this is like a 6.3 liter V12. It makes 680 horsepower. I know it's like over 4,000 pounds, but so what? Like this thing should be a missile. And it was fast. It was really fast, but I thought it could have used an extra 100 horsepower. So, it didn't feel, it felt, both cars, the real story there, like I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the real story there is that both cars were easy to drive and confidence inspiring. So like there's a little bit of like, the brakes do not feel like brakes off of a normal road car. The steering is excellent, you know, and the car will behave in very responsive ways when you're telling it to speed up, slow down, change direction compared to most things that most people drive, but it's easy, right? Like in the 488, it felt like I had a power suit and I could do whatever I wanted. Like it was like, this car is taking care of me. Like it's got mag ride. It literally softens off the dampers if you're pushing it too hard in a wheel, like if like a tire starts to lose grip a little bit, it'll soften off that damper just to help the tire regain grip so it doesn't shock load the tire and have like sudden breakaway characteristics or whatever. Like, and like, I ripped the car pretty hard. Like it was on narrow streets. So
that's a mag ride, or that's something else?
Yeah, mag ride.
Okay.
So
I've never heard of that term before. So
the magnetoriological dampers, it's like a ferrous fluid. They have like a ferrous additive that they put in fluid. I don't know if they use Multimatic dampers, but like Multimatic, I believe. Well, there's definitely a Multimatic location in Ontario. So like this is some good Canadian, you know, homegrown stuff right here.
Nice.
Multimatic is like a major supplier for these active dampers, and like they're like the supplier, you know, like Oleans and Bilstein even still today make, you know, some of the best dampers, passive dampers for a car. Multimatic is like the active damper, you know, supplier for major OEMs everywhere.
Oh, interesting.
Like Ford, Ferrari, you name it. It's they'll go to these guys and they'll have a solution.
Wow.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Learned something today.
Yeah. Go get your mag ride. It is honestly like current mag ride on even like you can get a Mustang, like a brand new Mustang. Even the old Mustang, like the last generation Mustang, you could get with mag ride, and it's like, it's nice. Like it makes a difference. So you have to replace the dampers, like, you know, more often than maybe a passive system, and
Sure.
It's definitely more expensive than a passive system. But hey, it really works if you want that. So
cool. Anything else you wanted to say about like your 488, or do we cover everything?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could go on forever about it. I'm converted. You know, they got me. Those Maranello boys, they got me. But you know what Ferrari didn't do? Last weekend?
Oh, what would that be?
Was podium at Silverstone. So you catch the highlights?
Yeah. It
F1?
seemed like a very interesting race.
Yeah.
From what I saw. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even just to begin, I think Hamilton has won like the past 3 years or 4 years or something like that. I can't remember. He's kind of had
Hamilton?
I vaguely remember. Somebody can correct me in the comments.
Oh no.
But
or that's Verstappen is crushing it Last few years for drivers champion.
No, just for Silverstone.
Winning Silverstone.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, so it was interesting to not see a Ferrari on top. You know?
Yeah. No, totally. He's Sir Hamilton has been really trying to get to grips with the car, literally and figuratively. He fun fact, I learned that he has like a luxury trailer that he has parked in the middle of Fiorano. So when he's at the home base, he just chills out there and no one can bother him.
Interesting. Like an RV trailer thing.
I saw part of it. I didn't see the whole thing. So gotta go back to Maranello sometime. We should go.
Yeah, maybe so.
So yeah, I mean, wet race as well.
Yeah, quite a bit of rain in that race.
You know, it always makes things interesting.
Yeah.
Who's got the tire strategy now?
Yeah.
So, but no Alpines on the podium. You see, Ocon usually pulls something tricky in the rain and climbs his way up there. But that's first podium for Hulkenberg.
Yes.
Nico Hulkenburg, your favorite.
Yes, my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Stop rooting for the underdog.
Yeah, always been a Hulkenberg fan. I don't know why. Like, I guess I just kind of saw him as like a very consistent driver, and I don't know.
I'm sure
something
Sauber.
About him.
Sauber saw him as a consistent driver too.
Yeah, I guess
held on to him.
So I also think he doesn't have a lot of the boastfulness of some of the other drivers, right? I don't think that a lot of it has gone to his head or anything like that.
Yeah,
so, he
does a good job
level-headed.
he does a really good job of like delivering professional results for a race team.
Yeah,
you know, and you can speak about some of the other professional results he's delivered for other race teams.
Yes, so I mean, it's finally nice to see him on a podium after 240 races or something of never getting on a podium. So glad to just
F1.
In F1. Yes, glad to just see that stat get thrown away. But even though it's still there, but So I'm happy. Mm-hmm. Everybody can be quiet for a bit. So yeah.
Well, we'll see what he can pull off next weekend. But he's not new to the podium overall.
No.
Then hey,
definitely not. I mean, he won Le Mans in 2015.
2015.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a long time coming to get on podium in F1, but he had a good result.
Yeah. So it's like, I think people really doubt him that he could win, but it's like, hey, he just won in a different race. It's just different league.
Yeah.
Whatever, right?
Yeah, so, that was with Porsche.
Yeah, and
Porsche hadn't won Le Mans in since '98,
something like that. Yeah, it had been many years, 17 years, 19 years, something like that. So so
it's cool to see. It's cool to see the crossover with F1 drivers going into other sports. So although Hulkenberg declined, he was. You know what I'm gonna say? Yeah. He was McLaren wanted to see if he would race in Indy for them, and he said the cars were too physically demanding and he didn't want to race ovals. He actually did a session in IndyCar. And what year was that? We just
2021.
21, I think. Yeah. And He wanted the power steering of those F1 cars, and he wanted the big runoff areas of the F1 tracks. He didn't want to be going 340 kilometers an hour next to a concrete barrier. So, maybe for some, not for others.
Yeah, for sure. But
so, that's very interesting. Back more down to earth, we'll say. How has driving a 25-year-old sports car been for you this month, Scott?
Well, let's just say I haven't been driving it this month.
Oh, you haven't? Why is that?
Because it's in the shop.
Oh, yes, there
it
is.
The dreaded shop. Hey, you're one to talk.
You know where my car was while I was in Italy? It was in the same shop.
Yeah. So unfortunately, my car has just gone to the point where it's not drivable. It can't really do anything. So I said I'm going to bring it to an expert. So that's where it's been for the past couple of weeks, and it's just waiting for its turn to
get fixed.
Yeah, to get fixed.
See the man.
So
or lady.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a bummer though, because it's like summer started, all the nice cars are out, and it's like my car's sitting in a lot.
There's still August.
Yeah, it's true. Will it even get done by then? I hope so. But
we'll get it done by then.
Yeah,
we'll fix it ourselves.
Yeah. But I mean, not much excitement for me this month. What about you? What can you say for your car?
So since buying, I mean, I did, like, full disclosure, I did not buy the nicest example of a new Edge Mustang. It started, and drove. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to say this is good enough. And Scott was there when I bought the car. Yep. It was, it was like, the battery was like, I mean, so many things were wrong with the car. It was drivable. It wasn't unsafe to drive. But yeah, in that time, it's been like, I mean, right off the bat, the battery was shot. I couldn't start the car. Had to like jump start it. So then there's been interesting noises. The tires were really old. Suspension was very tired. Steering rack was loose. EGR was dead. A bunch of stuff. That's all done. That's all done now. I've got Michelin Pilot all seasons on the car. They're fantastic. In the rain, in the dry, whatever. At the drag strip, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's what I did this month. So I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to run the stock quarter mile numbers for my car, which are, roughly speaking, 14 seconds and 101 miles an hour from a standing launch in good, reasonable conditions.
Right.
So what did I run on my first pass ever? 16 seconds at, this would be 92 miles an hour. That's slow. But the thing is, my second pass was my fastest pass that night. I did 7 passes total. This is maybe 2 weeks ago now. And I ran I got it down to like 15.4, 15.5 at 93 miles an hour. And it just stayed there. And my mile an hour was always 92, 93 miles an hour. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I've done this before with a motorcycle. And I know I was like right on top of the stock numbers for my bike at the time, which was a 2007 Kawasaki Versys 650. And I forget what the numbers were, but I'm pretty sure one of my passes was in the 12s, which was great. But at 99 miles an hour, I've never cracked 100 miles an hour. So I've made 13 passes total in my life at the drag strip, and I've never cracked 100 miles an hour. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Okay. But even if I have a bad ET, I should still get some more mile an hour. So even though my car is not throwing codes anymore right now, I've cleaned the mass air sensor, had a vacuum leak. I changed the oil. I'm using the correct oil at the correct capacity, which has changed. There is a service bulletin. For, the 4.6 2 valve, you go from 5 quarts to 6 quarts and you use 5W30, not 5W20. So is it because the engine is tired? 225,000 K? I mean, the car's been beat on, but these things are tough. This is a tough car. It should last. It's not fancy. There's nothing to it. Iron block. It's not really all that worn out. So, I really think I'm chasing a couple more issues. I'm going to do plugs or I'm going to replace at least one coil plug. I lied about it throwing codes. I did get a code cylinder 7 misfire. This is a code that I've had about 5 times now. And sometimes I would get misfires on all of the cylinders, and that was due to my vacuum leak, which has been resolved. And my gas mileage also is still pretty bad. I'm doing about 13, 14 miles per gallon right now, even when I'm not doing burnouts. And so the car is drivable. It runs fine-ish, like in terms of getting in and driving it, but it's not 100%. So I need to find out, does it have the right spark plugs? Are one or all of my coil plugs dead or like on the way out? Are my fuel injectors maybe? Is there something going on there? Or I don't know. Got to figure it out. So I'm hoping to have that solved before August 4th, 8th, when we have that's one of the next Friday night street legal drag racing at Mission Raceway.
Okay.
So
nice. I'll probably be there with you this time.
And I'm saying no mods. I'm not going to modify my car until I can do 14.2 at 100 miles an hour. So
good.
That's
stock's the way to be.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
But
nice. Tell us a bit about, like, because you told me earlier, but tell some of the viewers, like, what's the process of you kind of like getting ready for your race? Like what happens and like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that's a good question, because like, even though I've drag raced at Mission Raceway once before on a bike, and I've been there to like see other races, like not a lot, maybe 3 times. It's still like, it was still like an intimidating day for me. Like I came home after and I was like, well, that's the most like, that's the most like stressed and like stress, excitement and anticipation I've felt in the last couple months. 'Cause like it's very grassroots, but they also take it seriously. And so I knew I was going to be slow. I knew something might happen with the car. I really wanted to read up on like, what do you do? Where do I go? Is my car ready to race? Like, one of the first things that I did for my car, even before I fixed the check engine lights, was like, I need a battery tie down. I need a proper one so I can pass tech inspection. So in the end, when I went through tech, I didn't even open the hood. They didn't ask. but making sure that you can pass tech is important. Reading the rules. It's an NHRA certified drag strip. They go by the NHRA rules. So like, I didn't need a helmet because I wasn't driving. My ET wasn't quick enough that I would need a helmet. But if I broke 14 seconds, which the car is capable of doing, like if you take a brand new Edge Mustang GT and you pump the front tires up to like 50 PSI and drop the rear tires down to like 18, 20 PSI, and you like take the air filter out, or if you like take the snorkel off and cool the intake, you can and get a good run, you can get in the 13.7s. So it's like, I'm just gonna bring my helmet, like I don't know where the car is at. So and even though I ran 16 seconds on my first pass, I just wore the helmet for every pass, like an idiot. But whatever, it's so like knowing how quickly your car can go, and then being on the safe side of what you need to like do it according to the regs, and then knowing what class you're in. So there's like domestic, sport compact, motorcycle, and outlaw. Like the outlaw guys are all in, it's like, those are all like heavily modified cars on slicks. They're street legal, but they're super modified. if you don't know what class you're in, you're probably not an outlaw. These are the hardcore guys, right? These are the hardcore hobbyists, but who aren't professionals. And then if you drive an American built car, you're in the domestic class. Everything else is in sport compact. So if you show up in a Ferrari, you're in sport compact. If you show up in a Bentley or Rolls-Royce Cullinan, you're in sport compact. It's just the way it is. Then basically every single car that's ever been made, you can find a quarter mile for it. Someone's probably done it, and you'll probably have like a feel for how quickly it should go. And let's see. Yeah, like look up where to go for tech. You get through tech, wait until your class is, or like you'll write a number on your car, you make up a number, and your class, you write it on your car with like a paint marker on the glass, and then wash it off after. And then there's like 8 or 10 lanes that all feed into the back of the drag strip, and they'll say domestic class to lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4, sport compact to 1 and 2, or 1, 2, 3, and 4. They'll call the class and the lanes. You go line up in a lane, and then you just wait in your queue. You can turn the engine off, you can leave it on, and a guy will direct you. This is where you have to pay attention. So there's a lot of like go and then stop, go and then stop, go and then stop. So you go to the queue and stop. You go to the front of the queue and then you stop. The guy directs you to line up. There's a burnout box, and then there's the tree like after that, and then there's the drag strip and the runoff area. So there might be someone in the burnout box already. So if the guy calls you up, you just go, you probably don't go directly behind the burnout box, because when someone does a burnout, they might throw rocks up and they might crack your windshield. If you have a cracked windshield, you can't race. So that's in the rules, which you'll have read by now, that you're going to drag race your car and you're following my advice. So the burnout box clears. Usually at this point, there's always someone who's going to motion you forward. So someone has motioned you forward from the queue. Then someone motions you forward up to the burnout box. They'll wave their hand, or they're away from you. They wave their hand, bringing you up to where your driven wheels are on a wet patch of concrete, wave you up and stop. When you see the fist, you stop. Then you wait. You don't do anything yet. The guy will tell you when to do your burnout, and he'll spin his finger.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, it's almost like you're an airplane being taxied in.
Right.
It's just following directions. So much of it is just following directions. So you do your burnout, then you stop. You don't necessarily tree. You can go up to start pre-staging, but the guy might tell you to stop. So just look over. There's a new guy that you're looking at now. He's the guy controlling the tree. So make sure everything's okay. There's the tree, the drag racing tree. There's like 2 sets of 2 little yellow lights. And then there's the 3 big yellow lights, the green and the red. There's 2 laser beams. I can do it with this car actually. 2 laser beams across, invisible. You trip the first beam, and the top set of double ambers turns on. That is pre-staging. It is a courtesy. If you want to look like you know what you're doing, pre-stage and stop and wait until the guy beside you pre-stages. Then, and only then, move forward and trip the staging light. So wait until the other guy. As soon as you trip the staging light, get ready. Know like the RPM you want to launch at, and it's gonna come really quick. At Mission Raceway, the 2 times that I've been, they ran Pro Tree. So Pro Tree is they flash all 3 yellow lights, the big yellow lights, for 0.4 seconds, and then the green, and you go on the green.
Okay.
but you actually go slightly before the green. So when your car launches, it doesn't actually leave the laser beam right away. The car tire rolls past it. So when you launch, you haven't even technically started timing yet. You have a few inches of rollout. And as you get into a more powerful car, that matters. And then you go straight and you stay in your lane. And the most important part, if it matters, is that if anything bad happens to your car, you pull to the side immediately off the track. If your car spills its guts, make sure it spills its guts beside the concrete barrier and not in the middle of the track. That's another way that you can impress drag race people. Even if you blow up your car, you don't ruin their day. So
makes sense. Nobody wants to wait for you while your car gets cleared off the middle.
They don't mind. Yeah, they don't mind that. They just the cleanup to prep the surface again so everyone else can go takes a long time. So it can take like an hour plus if it's bad. But yeah, we had a delay. Someone had issues with their car. They got towed off, and but like no one crashed or anything. And
right.
It's a controlled environment because it is like you're going to be going. I mean, some people go for 100 miles an hour. I was not going that fast. I was going, but 145 is still pretty fast. It's faster than I drive on the street by like maybe a little bit. But
it's all pretty systemic, right? Like in the sense of when you're doing your burnout, someone is like up there, ready to go, right? And then it's just kind of they just crank through them.
Oh, they crank, crank through them, and it's fun. It's fun because driving fast is exciting, but launching is hard. It's really hard, but you see more than like just your result. You see other people's result. You see your reaction time, your 60 foot, your 330 foot, your eighth mile time and speed, your 1,000 foot time and speed, your quarter mile time and speed, and it's all imperial because America, but that's great. The imperial system is a perfectly valid form of measurement, almost as valid as the metric. But
oh, nice. Sounds like you had a really, really interesting experience.
Yeah,
so,
I want to go again. I would say, honestly, I would say at this point, I still find bikes to be like drag racing. My experience of drag racing my bike at the time was more exciting and more fun. And in a way, it was easier for me than my experience of drag racing my Mustang at the time. So I still say that with my bike, it was the best $50 that I ever spent, but it's also kind of cool that it still only costs $50. Yeah, that's including tax.
That's awesome. Yeah, so, I expected it to be a lot more expensive, but
no way, man. That's cool. Mission Raceway is it's a proud community. It's they're good people.
Yeah.
The announcers are so wholesome and hilarious and like small towny and lovely to listen to, and it's fun. And you see cool cars for sure. There's a lot of neat stuff out there.
I bet. Yeah.
So, you just get chatting with people in the pits. So, drag racing, I feel like drag racing has the best pits, because it's so accessible. You have like the highest horsepower cars, in motorsport, and you can just pay $10 and go walk around, see what's out there, right? Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like you think you could walk through an F1 paddock? Like good luck.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're Tom Cruise or Martin Brundle
or Brad Pitt, he must get a free pass after the F1 movie.
Yeah. I wonder how long that lasts. He might have to make an F1 movie too, where he becomes a coach.
Yeah. So nice. Well, this is a bunch of interesting topics to discuss this week, and I think this about wraps it up. So thanks everyone for listening through another one, and we'll see you in the next one.